the expectations for you seem to be pretty high, sky high. You don't get 70% of the vote without some people having some pretty high expectations of you. You've got a ton of social issues that you have to deal with,
Yes.
the housing crisis, income, jobs. There's an opioid crisis that I'm sure you're being expected to come up with solutions with. And you're expected to come up with solutions quickly too. How do you manage to deal with that high expectation that people are setting for you?
Yeah, I think the managing of expectations is an interesting point of it, because people are so excited and they think, you know, you're going to be able to solve things. And I've been very open in debates or in discussions at the door about a lot of these issues. You know, housing, opioids, employment aren't things that you can solve overnight. They take all hands on deck to be able to try to cope with. But certainly we need to have some plans in place. And I heard you talking before I came on about the retreats that used to happen, and that's something that I'm very much looking forward to doing. I'm meeting with the clerk and the CAO tomorrow to sort of talk about the logistics of that, because when we talk about, you know, what council wants to work on as a whole moving forward for the next 4 years, I'm pretty sure that I can guarantee housing will be one of the priorities, because that transcends all the wards, all ages, and all income levels increasingly. The opioid crisis is another one that, you know, that also involves senior levels of government as well as our nonprofit partners in the health unit. And it's one of those wicked problems that City Council can't solve on its own, but needs to at least sort of be a leader and a voice on here's what we need from the other parties that are involved in trying to help improve people's lives.
You know, Diane, I attended while I was away in September. I went to an all candidates meeting in Penetang.
Nice. Well, my dad's hailing from Penetang. We talked about this.
And I have two friends who are on council up there. One who won her seat last night, in fact, by 2 votes. But in any event, the deputy mayor. But as I was sitting there, except for the odd use of French, I could have been sitting at an all candidates meeting in Peterborough, because the issues are the same, and probably in any town in Ontario.
Absolutely.
Affordable housing, homelessness, infrastructure. They didn't speak as much about opioid crisis there, but I bet they did over in Midland. You know, the issues are provincial issues, and it's going to be very, very difficult for any single municipality you can try to find some creative solutions, and we did for a while back for trying to provide affordable housing. But boy, I don't envy you in the council. But maybe that's for AMO or, you know.
Well, and that's, you know, part of it too is that we know that municipalities across the province are dealing with a lot of these issues, and so, you know, bonding together and working with other municipalities. I have good relationships with mayor and council in other cities, so lobbying the provincial government, who we know are going to. You are saying the cupboards are bare and there's nothing to be had there, but we also know that they have talked about recognizing that opioids and mental health are a problem, and we know that it saves us money in the long term to help try to mitigate some of those issues at the core, rather than dealing with the long-term implications of the criminal justice system and the medical system and EMS and all of those costs. So. It's going to be an interesting ride for sure, but I'm looking forward to working with the new council and the surrounding counties and our provincial and federal counterparts.